So I wanted to share something with you guys, a story about a memory, in fact, one of my most cherished and treasured memories related to video games. And I've told this story a couple of times before in a couple of different podcasts, and that's actually one of the points that I wanted to make in this video. It's the fact that video games have actually given me the opportunity and the platform to speak about certain things that I might not have been able to speak about otherwise. And you'll understand exactly what I mean in a couple of seconds. But I ask you to bear with me as I circle around to the main point of the story. I promise it is worth it, and it is related to video games. So I'm divorced, and I've been so for quite some time. I got married and divorced in my early 20s. Right now I'm in my late 30s, so it's been a while. And you hear a lot of people talk about divorce in many different ways, primarily negative, and rightfully so. Divorce, not easy. But out of all the things that people speak about when they speak about divorce, there's one thing that nobody ever mentions that I've ever heard. And it's the fact that when you get divorced, especially when a divorce like mine, which occurred in a short period of time. So I was only married for about a year before we got divorced. When you get divorced in a situation like that, nobody ever tells you or warns you that that part of your life, those memories, pretty much become non-existent after that. Nobody ever tells you that after a divorce, that relationship, that entire era or part of your life is something that you're essentially not allowed to bring up anymore. And if you do, it's always weird, it's always awkward, it's always sad. So for example, my wedding was awesome, right? I've always said this, my wedding was awesome. It was beautiful. We looked good. We had a lot of fun. It was in this Japanese garden. Our cake was incredible, unique. We took a lot of great pictures, a lot of good memories. And that's something that I just can't show people because I'm divorced. It's not like I could just be in a simple conversation and pull out my phone and show them some pictures on my wedding day and start telling them about that story. Like it doesn't make sense in normal settings. So that's just an example. It's like I have all these good memories. I have this moment that I wish I could share with people, and I can't. It's not allowed for various reasons. So once again, when you get divorced, especially in a situation like mine, there's an entire portion of your life that you essentially have to put in a box and hide it away and act like it never existed. You're not allowed to talk about that anymore. You're not allowed to share that with anybody anymore. It's like if you think about that in any positive sense, people all immediately assume you're living in the past or you're still in love with that person. You haven't moved on, whatever it may be. And I understand all of this. I understand that it's not normal to want to talk about those things, but it's difficult to put into words how that feels, how it feels to have good memories, because I do have good memories. Enough time has passed between my divorce and the present for me to have a different perspective of that era, of that time. I do have good memories. I do have things that I would like to share with people. I do have these things that I like to reminisce on every once in a while in a healthy way, but it's not allowed. I can't do it. And one of those memories, which is the memory that I wanted to share with you guys today, very simple memory, but it means a lot to me, or it meant a lot to me at that time. Me and my ex-wife, we were pretty much a stereotypical marriage or relationship. We would get up on Saturdays, and it would be normal for Saturday to be a cleanup day. You know, we're going to clean the house. I'm the man, so you're going to go outside. You're going to fix this. You're going to clean the yard. You're going to do that. She's going to do other stuff in and around the house. Like, that's essentially the type of relationship we had in that sense, in that area of our life. And this Saturday was no exception. So we had woken up. We were ready to take on the day. And I was sitting on the edge of the bed, and I was playing Skyrim at the time. And she was laying behind me. And I remember that I don't remember if she actually came up to me or she just stayed behind and said it. But at one point she told me, let's just take the day off. Let's just take the day off, play your game all day. It's fine. We can just have this moment. You can enjoy your game. And it's not like she was giving me permission to play a game. I don't mean it in that sense, but it was more like, yeah, let's just take this day. Let's just enjoy this moment. Let's enjoy that thing that you love. And that's exactly what we did. That entire day was spent pretty much me just sitting there playing Skyrim, and And she laid next to me all day watching me play. And every once in a while she would have questions, and I remember at one point I was playing Alan Wake, and she asked me, like, how do you know where to go? She couldn't understand, she's not a gamer, so how do you understand where to go? How do you not get lost? And I tried to explain to her, video games pretty much lead you down a certain path, especially a game like Alan Wake, which is pretty linear. But that moment meant something to me. It was like this feeling, this sensation of being able to do something that I love, which is play video games, but not just do it on my own, rather share it with somebody that I loved at the time, which was my ex-wife, right? That's something that we all want in our life. We all want to share our lives with somebody, and vice versa. This is a moment, a memory of a certain period in my life that I'm no longer allowed to talk about. And the only context in which I've been able to speak about that moment is in the context of video games. So video games, this is just one example of how video games have been and continue to be important in my life. And I'm curious if you guys have any moments like this as well. Do you have any moments that you hold and cherish as one of your fondest memories, one of your favorite moments in your life, and somehow it's related to video games? Because in my case, it's only indirectly related to video games. Like, the experience wasn't playing the game itself. The experience was the whole moment, but video games were at the center to some degree of that moment. And video games have given me this platform to speak about that moment, to share it with other people. And I'm wondering if you have moments like this as well. I'm curious to know. So if you're watching me on YouTube, let me know in the comments. And if you're watching me on TikTok, which I hope I'll be able to upload this on TikTok if it's not too long, tag me in some video. Share with me special moments that you've had in your life related to video games, directly or indirectly. I want to know.